Hi Scorpio, this is your horoscope for April 2020. Thanks for joining me. The first thing I noticed when looking at your chart, Scorpio, is that all of the activity is happening in the right-hand side of your chart. And that is quadrants 2 and 3, and those all have to do with how you connect with others and how you relate to other people. So that's obviously changing now because we have this virus going on, but you're a water sign. You're going to find that you're flexible with that and you're not going to struggle as much as some of the other signs. On the 3rd of April, Mercury, the communication planet, conjuncts Neptune, the water planet of dreams and imagination, and they sit together in your 5th house of love, romance, and relationship, children. The transiting midheaven, which is your work, also sits in that 5th house. The moon is in Leo in your 10th. So on the 3rd of April, what is it that I love to do work-wise? What do I want to do with my life? Ask yourself that, you'll get an answer. On the 4th of April, something huge happens. Jupiter, the lucky planet, the greatest planet in our solar system, it's the biggest one. It's this giant gas planet, and it's lucky in astrology, and it conjunct, so it sits on top of Pluto, which is a dwarf planet. I think it's been downgraded to a dwarf planet or something. And that's about transformation and change, being the phoenix rising from the ashes. By ashes, like Portia says in the Housewives of Atlanta, she says, I have risen as something by ashes. I always find that funny. So that happens for you, Scorpio, in your 3rd house of the way you think, communication, and it's in Capricorn at 24 degrees in your 3rd house. So Capricorn is work. So you're going to be able to discover what it is you love to do for work, and you're going to have the presence of mind to actually go through with it, follow through with it, and make it a tangible thing. So if you're phoning in from Munich and you need to speak to people in Singapore, you find a new way of FaceTiming or setting up your business so that you can work more from home. If you're retired and you're like, I'm not working anymore, you'll also find that you get this great idea that excites you, that you want to do something with, and that you want to put into practical format. So even if you're not working, or if you're working and you're happy with your job, keep listening for these amazing things that are going to be revealed to you on the 4th, because it's going to change the way you think entirely. Also on the 4th, Venus, the planet of love and beauty, moves into Gemini in your 8th. So you're like the leader in this. You guys are rock, okay? A lot of people are going to come to Scorpio and say, help me get through this. Because Scorpio is used to dealing with difficult emotions. Some people are falling apart, and I've said this from the beginning. I'm much more worried about the mental health circumstances and the mental health ramifications this is going to have rather than the virus itself, because people are alone and we're not solitary creatures, we're social creatures, and we are nature. We're not part of nature, we are nature. So when Venus goes into Gemini, you'll be able to show that love for your fellow man through communication. On the 7th of April, Mars squares Uranus. Mars is your ambition, and it's in your 4th house next to Saturn. So you're really, really comfortable with family. And family needn't be a major issue for you. It's not going to be an issue for you at all. If anything, like I said, people come to you for comfort. Comfort and a sense of being loved. So you're like the matriarch, the patriarch. Even if you don't have children, your friends are going to look for you. So you can make them feel better. Mars squares Uranus, and that's in the 7th house of relationships at 5 degrees in Taurus. So you guys are most likely to break the rules in terms of going to visit a friend's house because they need you. Be careful with that. Don't put yourself at risk, seriously. Because you have a big heart, you care. And you want, like if someone's totally isolated and they phone you and they're like in crying and in tears and they're like, I'm struggling so much with this, your heart goes out to them and you'll want to visit them. And that's, I mean, legally, we know what it is, but in actual life, whether you're going to stick to that or not, if you decide to get fined or not, that's your choice. On the 8th of April, there's a full moon in Libra, and I'll make separate videos on the full moon and the new moon that are happening this month. The new moon happens in Taurus on the 23rd. The Libra full moon happens in your 12th house of spirituality and spiritual strength. So you will feel completely comfortable and balanced and able to communicate with other people. So the emotional stuff is water off a duck's back for you this month. You just, it's not that big a deal. You're really chill about it. Nice. On the 11th of April, Mercury, the communication planet, moves into Aries. And it stays in Aries until the 28th of the month. So Mercury, the communication planet in Aries, sits in your 6th house of work, daily routine, and your physical health, next to the midheaven, work, Chiron, the wounded healer, and the sun, your identity. So you're able to take action to change any of those things, your work, your daily routine, or your physical health. That's huge. Those are huge areas of our life that we can devote our whole life to. I mean, changing the area of your work so that you're fulfilled, that's a life mission. For some people it is, like me, to find the right job that you actually love and enjoy. For other people, it's a given. They know they want to be a zookeeper at the age of 5. So if you've struggled with career or getting to the right weight or not commuting so much, the 11th of April through until the 28th is a time to change all of that. So hooray for you guys, Scorpio. So make sure not too many people are crying on your shoulder, because you have the ability to make changes for yourself from the 11th onwards. On the 23rd of April, we have the new moon in Taurus, and I'll make a separate video, but the important thing is that it happens in your 7th house of relationships, Scorpio. Uranus, the chaos planet, sits in between the two, and it pulls loads of Taurus energy in, which is about structure and comfort and luxury and sensuality. So again, you're likely to break the rules, and you're likely to want to be with someone and feel their touch. When I was in Australia, I remember, I just turned up in Sydney with a suitcase, and I just went into a hotel, and I lived there for a year and a half. And for the first year, I didn't know anyone. No one even physically touched me. And I went to the doctors or something, and I shook his hand, or something like that. And just the human touch made me cry. It was like a year that no one touched me. It's important. We are social creatures, okay? So be sociable. Ugh, and I'm telling you the wrong thing. Be sociable safely. So use FaceTime, use Skype, use the telephone, use WhatsApp, use all those things. Finally, on the 25th of April, Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, and your ruler, goes retrograde until September. And it goes retrograde next to Jupiter, the lucky planet, in Capricorn. And what happens is, when it's retrograde, is that the transformation is within. And it's in your 3rd house of the way you think and the way you communicate and the way you articulate yourself. So you can totally change the way you think about your job, or you can change your job, or how you work with people, and to turn that into a real job. Like if people are crying on your shoulder all the time anyway, you realize that you're going to be great as a psychologist. So you have this lovely introspection that's there with you until September, that's going to open doors and answer things for you. If you really struggle with that, then please get in touch with me for a personal reading. The website is gregoryscott.com. You can order your reading there. And have a look at the website anyway, because we're running a major discount at the moment because of this virus situation. So check out gregoryscott.com. If you like this video, hit the red subscribe button here on YouTube to be part of this channel and community that we've built here. Share the video if you really like it, the arrow, and share it on Facebook or Twitter, wherever. Have a lovely month, and I'll speak to you next month.